Well, back at our favourite place, the racetrack. Got to pick the Skyline up, take it back home. It's going to hyperdrive next week. We're going to do some changes to the sump and catch can arrangement, see if we can improve things there. And then I've also got some new shocks to try from Chris at Shockworks. So event-wise, we have the time attack on the 14th, all going to plan. I'm still waiting to see the sub-regs and timing and stuff for that. And then collie the following weekend. So his time attack is just a bit more testing. And then down to collie. I haven't driven the new track at collie yet, so I really look forward to seeing how that goes and really figuring out the layout there and just seeing how fast the car can go and if I can pull it off. Cheers.
So I had to go pick the car up from the track. That means I had to take the front splitter off it, just so it can get into the trailer. The splitter's quite big, so I've got the bumper sits on top of the splitter. The splitter's hard bolted to the base of the car and to the sides of the car. It's a bit of a changed design from my last one after I went off into the dirt. Smashed that out so I don't bolt them to the base of the bumper anymore. The other cool thing about having the car at the track is there's always cool events on. So while I was up there, I got to catch some of the guys at Ken Long's Nishi D. Super cool event. Got a couple of clips for you, and super rad time.
You were cranking, dude.
I got way too G'd up, way too
That. What do you want, John that for lunch or do you want McDonald's? Oh man, you suck.
Yeah, so as you can see, super chill, super good time. The guys are all just rad and just love the sport of drifting.
Well, at DC Auto's getting ready for the time attack on the weekend. Been a bit hectic, changed the sump out. We've gone with a different sump, I'll go over that in a bit as we're doing it. Got a bit of footage. Changed the turbo gasket, put some titanium studs on the turbo as well. Been chasing a leaking issue and it's just a warped manifold. We've had that sorted out now, so fingers crossed we're good for time attack.
So yeah, headed over to Damo at DC Autos to put the new sump in. Richard at Hyperdrive had welded a fitting onto the catch can I already had because the sump's got a fitting on it so it can drain the catch can to the sump. We've capped them off for now. I don't really want to drain the catch can to the sump, even though we put the fitting halfway up, so it'll still work as a catch can, so to speak. It's kind of my fault. I put a head drain on this engine when we did the refresh at the start of the year, and we've had oil yakking issues since then. And then the reason for changing the sump out is into the bowl and into turn 7, under brakes, we're getting a low pressure alarm every now and again, not consistently and not a low pressure trip. But just enough to keep an eye on it. And then what we're finding is the accumulator dumps its pressure, and then as we climb out of the bowl or along the front straight, it takes that little bit longer to recharge the accumulator and get the oil pressure back to normal. So the new sump is a Lewis sump, which I got off Lane after he's changed to a dry sump. The old sump was winged and had baffles left and right, which is perfect for drifting, but now we're going that much harder under brakes. The Lewis sump has got baffles front and back, as well as left and right trapdoors, front and back trapdoors as well. So it doesn't matter what angle the car's at, whether it's dipping on its nose or accelerating hard, we should be keeping that oil where we want it to go. So we're going to try that at the time attack. Hopefully that fixes everything that I wanted it to fix, and this engine can stay what it is. I don't want to put the dry sump I've got on this engine just yet. I want to save that for the new car. But if we still get having oil pressures, this engine in this car is just too good. I've had it for 5 years now, since we built it the first time. It's only ever had bearings put at it just to keep it healthy every 2 years, and it just keeps going. Like, we beat on it that hard. I don't think I'm going to get the new shocks into it before collie. I don't think I'm going to get the new brakes I've ordered into it before collie, but that's kind of overkill anyway. The brakes I've brought are for the new car, but I'll keep pushing with this one. I just want to do everything I can to get this car into a 59 before we get the new shell ready. So many things we want to try out, so many little things to tweak on it. Going to collie is going to be really interesting because I haven't driven the long track there yet, so really looking forward to that. And again, a massive thank you to Damo at DC Autos. He's done so much to help me get this thing cranking. He's always pulling spanners on it, working after hours. Everyone needs someone like Damo, just the best dude out. Richard and the guys at Hyperdrive, as I said, welded up those bungs for me last minute. Always helping out. Shane behind the sport did a funny podcast this week. Looking forward to that coming out. Steve at MSE Turbos, he sent some new retainers over for me, which we've now wire tied the locking bolts between the core and the turbo. Chris at Shockworks, absolute legend. Thank you very much. Cheers.